Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spinnerrack. I'm here with my boy, Petey. What's rocking, Petey? Say what's up to the peeps.
What up?
Hey, today we're doing WandaVision number 9, series finale, in more ways than one. That's the title, and this is it for the series right now, as far as we know. There may not be a season 2. Feige said they haven't had any concrete plans about it so far, so this is what we're going to get. Now, all I can say is just one word. Absolutely fantastico. That's all I gotta say. Absolutely fantastico.
He's gonna make me use some expletives.
You know,
too.
look, this episode basically comes to an end where it brings us to, it ties all the loose ends. So we find out.
No, it does not. It's
ties up
bringing us into phase 4.
And so what we find out here is that basically we have that it starts off with Agatha Harkness holding the kids hostage. Basically, she wants to absorb all the powers from our girl Wanda, and Wanda's like, heck to the no, it ain't gonna happen. So she's fighting it out with her. At the same time, we have the white vision or the spectral vision trying to come after regular vision. We have
Agatha's here. This is Agatha right in the middle.
Well, you got to open up a little wider. Oh yeah,
this is Agatha. Where was Ebony? No Ebony.
Well, it's the bunny. It wasn't called Ebony. It was called Bunny. That's what it was.
Not called. The bunny. It's not a bunny. It's keep going.
Right. So, we have basically. Then you also have the kids, showing their powers, taking on the military. So it's crazy, 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 crazy. We even see glimpses. Right. Hold on a second. A glimpse of Photon's power coming out where they try to shoot her and stuff. So I'm just giving you a quick
Marvel's power.
Huh?
Captain Marvel's power.
Captain Marvel, Spectrum, Photon, whatever you want to call it. Saw her with the powers. And this action, you basically at the very end, she has to make a decision of what's more important. Does she want to give people back their lives because basically she's been holding all these people in Westview hostage, or does she want to keep her family because her family can exist within the bubble, and of course with Wiccan, she picks the right thing, which is to let the people go. Let those people free, give those people freedom. And that's what happens. So overview, just a quick overview, is just fantastical. I'm trying to say one word does the trick. And, it gives us meaning as to why Feige said they didn't have any concrete plans about number 2. I think bring Elizabeth Olsen back, bring the spectral vision or white vision back. I'm trying to say, bring Captain Marvel with some more and we also get, what do we also get? We also get hints of the scrolls come down to talk to her, and she's going to go see who upstairs up in the space station. Nick Fury. So I think I wrapped it up, a quick synopsis of everything there. So I'm going to pass it on to my boy Petey. Petey, what do you think about this whole episode? Just a quick overview of what you think, other than it was fantastico. You can't use absolutely fantastico because those are my words.
This episode means the big showdown between Agatha Harkness and Wanda, who they're talking about this lineage of being the Scarlet Witch, as if we couldn't have just named her Scarlet Witch because of the color of the costume. Just she had to be some lineage to give her this name because they've been calling her Wanda all this time, and they never called her by the name. So they talk about this history of the Scarlet Witch, which of course, this is what Agatha wants. She's now this villain that steals everyone's power, and she's got this thing on the kids, but at the same time, Wanda's fight. So they have this big knockdown, drag out fight. And at the same time, there's some things that kind of went left and went right at the same time, which didn't make much sense, right? But they had this big drag out fight. Wanda immediately finds out, once she starts to open up this thing, the Westfield, the barrier, her kids and Vision are start to go away. But at the same time, Vision is having a fight with the spectral vision. And why do I keep, everyone says white vision? Why did I keep calling him the spectral vision? Because the spectral vision here decided, he said, what happened to your color hue? And he said, it's spectral, which is like ghostly. right? It makes total sense. So that's what Spectral, that's what Vision called himself. I'm calling him Spectral. There's Vision going to Hollywood. There we go. So, but anyway, this Vision that's in WandaVision world is fighting the White Vision, which is the army putting together this Vision. Now, this has overtones of what Ultron did, where Ultron in the comic books made Vision a bad guy. And they have this one where I was just like, they had finally have Vision phasing through stuff. So they had this cool fight. But hold on, let's stop that. They had this cool fight, but then Vision starts the Vision from Westview. He says something that gives Vision pause, right? And that gives you this cool moment where Vision is rethinking his programming, and they connect him with his past memories, saying it's still there. But where did the White Vision go? Where all the White Vision at? Where did he go?
He went to find himself.
That doesn't know. That's he's saying everything was tied up. He goes off into phase 4, and then the Westview Vision is like, yo, I'm not gonna say nothing to Wanda about I'm coming back, baby, but I ain't gonna tell her right now. I'm gonna make her miss me, and then I'm gonna come back sometime later, and it's gonna be big. It's gonna be a big hit. So at the same time, they open up Westville. They let the people out. I thought those people were gone, right? They supposedly left. You see them running out because they were kind of, what's the name? Agatha was using them to chase after her. Now this is also what Marvel likes to do. Marvel likes to blame the heroes. Captain America allowed who's that guy? Winter Soldier to do all that damage when he should have just took him in and brought him in for his crime because he was and then have the courts deal with it. Iron Man and the Hulk create Ultron. The heroes, even Odin messed up everything in Asgard. So it's like the heroes kind of, and the good guys kind of do the wrong things in these Marvel movies. They are the flawed characters. They stepped it, maybe a step one more past what Stan does. So this is why when John Byrne had Scarlet Witch go crazy in this Darker Than Scarlet story, he had some villains that caused this thing to happen to her. Not like Bendis, who decided, you know what, let's have Wanda just from her grief go bad. It works better when she goes bad, you have someone to blame. So then when you see her later, you're not like, oh, she's just so destructive. Some have said that, hey, once she learns how to be better, and it's just like, Cap didn't learn. People just forgot what Cap did. So as we move on, Vision breaks out. They go back. They're in the family. The government comes in there. There's some more fighting, and then ultimately we have this big Wonder Woman scene where Agatha's fighting Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is turning, like decaying. The family is seeing this. For some reason, Monica Rambeau, she's moving around like Gina Carano in Deadpool. She has these stomps and this, that, and the other. Like she's a being of energy and light. Like have her move at light speed. The whole Ralph Boner, that was the lamest thing everything. No one explained what that was about. I don't know what that was about. I'm moving past it because it was lame. I don't know how he trapped what's the name, but I don't know what that was. So, but that means he's gonna be back, regretfully. So, and then ultimately they
Who will be back?
what?
You said regretfully, who will be back?
Quicksilver or Ralph Boner, whoever, they'll do a lame Boner joke.
Why are you saying that?
Because what happened to him? Did he die?
So why are you saying that?
Because nothing, we didn't see any result of it. Was he a apparition of the Westview thing, or what was he?
That's what I'm saying. Is he Ralph Boner or not? Was it the necklace? What was there that was holding that was controlling him? Is that what Ralph was using? Was using the power to go through him? So we don't really know. So
you're saying that Ralph was a captive, not Quicksilver?
I'm saying it could be two things. Ralph could have been Quicksilver, or it could he could have been a what do you call it? Of Agatha, right? Agatha Harkness. Whether he was being controlled and duped by her, or whether there was something in that necklace that he had on
Oh, you're saying that that caused him to become Ralph Boner. Oh,
or
no, no, Ralph Boner was used as the rest of them to
right,
be a character in that.
or that necklace was controlled by Agnes or another power, which used him as a vehicle. That's
Okay,
that's the only thing I can think of because when she broke the necklace, it stopped.
okay.
Right?
So maybe that makes sense. I didn't get it, but thank you for that. So then, what's the name? They have this big fight, like the first Wonder Woman, where Wonder Woman's fighting Ares. She's throwing all this energy, and then we think she's done with, but it was somehow a ruse. She comes back. She has the hottest outfit ever. It is. They finally give her a superhero outfit, not her clubbing out in Sylvania, whatever they're from, whatever the club outfit she had on. She finally has a superhero outfit. It's cool. I thought they were going to give her a digital sort of headdress, but no, they gave her actual headdress. So I was like, wow, this outfit is like, she's amazing. Even walking around in a sweat, she's still holding it down. I got to give it to her. And then ultimately, we know after this point, even though Agatha Harkness kind of put in check that we're gonna lose the kids, right? We're gonna lose Vision and we're gonna lose the kids. But they went Matrix Revolutions with how long it took for them to get out of here. I was just like, why is it taking so long? Why are they going home? Now I'm gonna refer back to my comic books, right? And we have this West Coast Avenger. I don't like that cover as much as I like this thing where we have the kids becoming a part of Master Pandemonium, right? And ultimately the kids disappear, right? I thought they should just instantaneously open up the thing, move the barrier, and they disappear, and we have this emotional moment of her losing her family. And us just pulling the Band-Aid off, pulling the bandage off, and her having to deal with, not only has she lost Vision once, now she lost Vision and her family, but she's going to deal with it. She's going to be adult and she's going to move on. And I thought that would have been a powerful scene, but I gave them some leeway. They did kind of go too long with it. I was just like, please, it's like I'm going to do another reference to, if you saw the movie Biloxi Blues, where who's that guy? Crystal Walken's he's doing these push-ups in the rain, and Matthew Broderick is talking and said, and then this was this, and this was that, and then this was this and this and that. And I watched this movie with my friends, and my friend Xavier, he was in the movie, he said, all right. And he acted like he was getting up. And it's just like we fell out laughing in this poignant part because it was going too long. And just like this, and just like when Trinity died in the Matrix, it was going too long. But we did get a lot of good memes. Can you put that picture up?
Hold on 1 second.
And I'll just say like this. When we got to that end, I'm like, at least they did it. They said, this stuff is imaginary. We had to pull the Band-Aid off. We have to get rid of the kids because the logic of them having kids makes no sense. I was like, wow, they did it. At least they did it, and they're going to move on, right? And we got this almost there. There we go. We got Vision walking around with his mock neck on, chilling. Like, all he needs is the meme that they have where they have him with the gold chain and whatnot. So ultimately,
looks diesel, so don't diss him.
So we got to this part. We say goodbye to the Vision. Scarlet Witch loses everything. She puts on her hood. She does her Luke Cage thing. She walks. Somehow, all of the town people decide to walk back. I was like, I would keep going for a while, but they had to have this emotional moment where they kind of like almost like the witches thing, like that sort of thing. She did these things to them, and what's the name? Who's that? But I don't understand. Why did the guy from Sword get arrested? Why? Because he shot at the imaginary kids?
Yeah, I mean, he was going to shoot at the imaginary kids, but it's bigger than that. He had the whole body for Vision.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What is he going to jail for that for?
he was using it as a weapon against um, Wanda, and he was the one helping to bring this to episode up and more because he keeps trying to. The whole purpose behind that is that he wanted to get Vision working back again, so he wanted to provoke Wanda into doing something, and he categorized Wanda as though she stole the body when in fact she didn't steal the body. In fact, he had the body the entire time. So there was a whole series of issues that he did there. He got resources. If you were talking about a governmental program, you'll have to say he lied to get the resources he needed to do what he had to do.
But the government knew that he was doing that. His people around him was doing. Only people that didn't know was Jimmy Woo.
Well, the FBI clearly didn't think the same thing, or you never know. Probably his people in the government will pull the strings and get him out. But he imprisoned a FBI officer. You can't do that. He shot the kids. You can't do that.
They're imaginary kids. They're not real kids.
Doesn't matter. Imaginary kids or not. People saw it.
And what's the name? Like I'm not saying full time. Monica Rambeau, when she first, that's the thing. People say she didn't know how to use her power. In her first time, that's like the second time she used her power, she closed up this portal, and this guy shot at the person who created this thing. She turned into energy, and you see just the hand, the energy grabs the bullet in the air. Like they should have had her change into energy. They keep doing the stuff we see Gina Carano doing, what's the name, where she's a bruiser. We don't need to see
I think that
Photon walking around like this and getting into the stance and all this other stuff. We need to see her turning into energy. I know they had the money for the slow warp through the body, ooh, this, that, and the other, and you see it come out the back. It's like, no, it's energy. Turn into energy.
They had to, I think they're teasing it for when Captain Marvel comes, when she goes full-blown Spectrum, Photon, or Captain Marvel.
Yeah, right. Stop saying Photon. We're not accepting her as Photon.
Okay.
We're not accepting her as Spectrum. They're terrible names. They're not good superhero names.
This is the name that she has right now in the comics.
She don't have no name.
She does. So look, for right now, I'm saying is that there were getting back to the whole spectral vision thing. That key thing, the ship of Thesis, how Vision was able to twist the spectral vision around, basically, is that he was able to do it because he's like, who is the real Vision, right? And the other one, all he knew was his programming, and that he had to go and kill Vision because he was not the real one. But when the real Vision says, hey, if a ship is in a location and you change all the boards of the ship, I see it, Petey.
This is for the world. We're not for you, for the public.
Okay, for the public. What happens then is that you have the ship changes, but it's still basically the same ship, or is it not? Or is it a brand new ship? And basically that's what they were saying. Here you have my body parts, but you don't have my memories. So who's really the real Vision here and there? And so he gave him his memories, and he was able to.
No, he said he had them. He just had to had to remember them.
And then he remembered it. So I guess now he's having to fight his programming versus the memories that he has, and so that's why he went away. So that's the point I was trying to make. I don't know how real the ship of Thesis is, but it's an interesting concept. In terms of Wanda, going back to her, I think it was a difficult choice. The child to save her children or not to save her children. But I think it was pretty slick how they decided how she was able to defeat Agatha. She gave her the power, and Agatha thought everything was copacetic, but then she put runes in the space around her, and so Agatha, and a lot of this was foreshadowing. I think it was a couple of episodes ago where she's like, ha, when she was talking about her history, and Wanda came into the room with her, into her lair, I'll say, in the basement, and Wanda couldn't use her power. She said basically, the witch who sets up the room basically controls who has the power or whatever, and that's And I was like, that was a pretty slick thing that went on there. I thought some of the things were pretty good. I thought that you're right, the ending took a little longer. It could have been a bit more emotional punch. But another thing that got me was only 50 minutes. And I was like, what? Come on. I thought it would be a much bigger thing at the end in terms of, I was expecting like an hour and a half. Yes, this was probably the longest episode, but still, I didn't like the way Pietro, or Fietro, as people call him, went out. It was too quick. And I was hoping the Spectrum would utilize their power. But, once again, Marvel doesn't want to give too much. They want to save us to go to another show. That's what it really is, And this comes basically to the end credit where we have one of the scrolls basically tells her about a thing. So they're setting that up for the next Captain Marvel, clearly.
Well, this is ultimately a this whole portrayal of the scrolls has been sort of a thing that Roger Stern did, where he did side by side with the scrolls in the Avengers comic book, where he kind of had a story where they weren't necessarily bad guys, but at the same time, that's one of the things you have to sort of look at is like, I don't know, they already built up this issue between Carol and or Monica and Carol, so I'm not really buying into this leading into the next stage. So I wasn't big for me. The bigger thing is like we had Wanda in this hut now in this far long place, and then they chickened out.
What hut are you talking about?
They totally chickened out.
What
See,
are you talking about?
John Byrne, he was right. He had the kids, right? And the kids had to go. There's no logic to having this robot and this human female, whether a witch or not, create children. So the logical thing to do is create a construct where they could create kids, and then the kids go, and they go for all time, that they removed, that is unnatural. What happens at the end? We start hearing those kids again. And I knew they were going to bring those kids back. And I'm saying, I
What,
didn't really like them that much, but this,
what do you
huh?
mean they heard the kids again? What are you talking about?
You heard the mama, you heard the screaming of them.
When?
You didn't watch the end credits?
Yes, I did. But I'm saying I'm still a little confused. What do
In
you?
the hut, when she was in the hut and you see the magic thing going,
Oh,
there was another scene.
there
There's
was another
another,
end credit.
yes.
Oh my gosh, are you frigging for real?
There's another end
Oh
credits. It's an
my goodness.
episode with Doctor Strange. It's not Doctor Strange isn't in it, but it's kind of a build to Doctor Strange. You see where you don't know where she's
Oh, I can't believe. Are you serious? We watched it twice, and we
not watching. You watched it twice and you didn't stay till the end?
stayed after the first end credit. Didn't
You
do.
scroll to make sure there was nothing else? It's not like you're in the movie.
Oh my gosh, I can't friggin' believe it.
You gotta gather the troops and watch it again.
There's another end credit. I can't believe it. Oh, so tell
That's
me
an
about
amateur mistake.
clearly amateur mistake. I was so pissed off. Get out.
You're so pissed off already. See, I knew it. You were pissed off at the episode, and then now you see you. I got you. Aha, aha.
My goodness.
Said
I
you were
can't
pissed off.
There was another one. I was pissed off at the 50 minutes. I was like, this is only 50 minutes, man. Take this off again. I didn't watch I saw the first screen frame. I was like, I thought that was done. Twice. Twice.
There's another thing with what's her name, and we see her learning how to use magic.
That's,
So
that's cool. So overall, what do you think of the series?
I don't know. There's a great buzz for it. And ultimately, what hurt my watching of it is what, if you watched our episodes, is that when you're spoofing TV, you can be entertaining with it, or you could be the bad TV. And I think when they were doing the WandaVision, cycling through different periods, even though they were trying to do some classic TV, bad TV borrows from classic TV. So when they spoofed it, it just seemed like bad TV that the jokes didn't land. Around the time where they started getting to the Marvel storyline, I think it's episode 4 and episode 5, they started getting back to the Marvel type storylines. And ultimately, I think those episodes would have been better just if the jokes had landed. Like, I don't think I laughed until possibly episode 8. There was something I can't even remember what that was. So I'm like saying, if you're doing the sitcom thing, and I've watched a lot of I Dream of Jeannie recently, and I've watched what's that thing? A few episodes of Small Wonder.
Right.
And I think sometimes, a lot of times in what's the name, because of the physical comedy, the I Dream of Jeannie lands a lot of jokes, but they do a lot of physical stuff, and the heart of the show is there. This show has a lot of heart. The actors are great performers. They're performing their little hearts out. I just think the jokes need to land in the early part of the stuff when they're doing the mock stuff. Because obviously, you look at the Brady Bunch and you're like saying, not a lot of the jokes always land. But at some point, when they land, like when you see Michael was it not when the kid, I forget the youngest kid, the youngest boy, he's upset one episode where he has to wear his brother's hand-me-downs. And people say how, like how out of touch it was. Like, that's totally in touch with life. Because I was just like, everyone doesn't like having to wear hand-me-downs. And having the youngest be like, oh, come on, I don't want to wear his stuff, and then had to
Boy,
go
do
to
I know that.
so it's like they had moments. It's not all like bubblegum sort of thing. Sort of, towards the end of the run, it's like, oh, they look at they're getting hot now. Let's put them on the beach. That sort of thing. So I think ultimately, I would say I can't even give it a higher score to say
You haven't
because
given it a score.
I'm not. I don't want to because I'm like saying I don't know if I go back outside of wanting to see these characters, And I guess that's the same with the Charmings, which I've brought up a number of times. I've gone back to it, but I haven't necessarily watched it. I might look at a scene. Oh, there's what's the name in a good outfit, that sort of thing. But it's not really something where I'm like, I would have to see this again,
Yeah,
Whereas,
you don't see it in terms of, I mean, I look at this show and I think, wow, Marvel was able to successfully parlay their movie business into TV. I think they were able to successfully do that. I look at this and I look at the movies and I say this is on par. It has the quality, it has the stars, it has the stories, and it does it. You know, was it slow at the beginning? I think, and then our videos will say I think it was definitely was slow a little bit in the beginning, but as things started to unravel, the story started to make more sense, and the ending seems to explain a lot of the issues that we were initially discussing. The structure of the story,
what we know,
the
this is
structure of the story,
I
what you
can't
guys
I
didn't
can't
like.
I can't agree with you on that.
The structure of the story, what you guys didn't like. You felt that you should have.
No,
Oh,
what I didn't like was that we're expecting more than Wanda did it. And what did they give us? Wanda did it. That was it. We were expecting like what was it? I had a prediction, like a lot of predictions were off. Like Ralph was going to be a bigger thing, all this other stuff. Mephisto, what else? There's a bunch of other things
and
that there's going to lead the Fantastic Four are going to come in, all this other stuff. I'm saying since it was a barrier, I did a video where I talked about Annihilus in the negative zone.
wow.
All that stuff was off, but all of us were asking for it to be more than just Wanda did it. And that's what we saw from the first episode. Wanda turns the vision and say, Wanda help him. And she does. He uses his power and he does it. So it's like, it's already telling us she did it. Then when they reveal it's all Wanda, but we kind of knew that. We were just hoping it was a little more.
But we had Wanda, but I think that there's a issue where it comes. She, out of her grief, developed the world and didn't understand. And we see when the citizens of Westview start going after her, that she was making. They were feeling her unconscious, her dreams, her horrors that she was going through, and she didn't realize that what was happening, and therefore, does it excuse? No, it was wrong. It wasn't wrong. She took over their lives and did. She just thought that it wasn't causing any no problems, but in reality, it was. Um, so I think she feels the consequences because she lost the ones she loved the most. She lost Vision. She lost her children, who were real. They said within the construct that she has, these were real, independent constructs, right? They weren't
Mm-hmm.
they weren't dependent like everyone else. They weren't dependent on her. She allowed them to have freedom of thought and freedom of movement and action. So that was pretty interesting in and of itself. But I think, like you said, there's a big hole in terms of Pietro and Ralph and what did that mean? Why was that there? You know, um, at the end, I just felt that they rushed some things, like Darcy all of a sudden coming in and hitting Hayward. It's what's happening with Wanda. I mean, did he really have to shoot at kids? I think they just wanted to make him look so bad that he was unredeemable, that he was a bad guy. I wasn't necessarily going for that initially. Um, but overall, the overall episode, it cleared up a lot of stuff. It showed Wanda in her full bloom. It showed her in the Scarlet Witch outfit. It resolved the issue between, or someone resolved the issue between the Visions. Um, I thought it was a pretty overall. I give it a solid A minus. I won't even give it an A
Oh
minus.
my God, that's ridiculous. How
Yes.
do we even get to this story? Like, how did the Avengers allow Sword to get Vision's body if he sort of had a living will? Why would it go to Sword?
I don't know.
When they find out that Sword is doing these things or whatever, when he says he doesn't want his body in there, why can't she call up any of the other Avengers? Oh, because the story has to go along. So you have this big thing is just saying, hey, we just want to do something we see in comics, which is stuck in this world. And then you want to find out how they got in this world. But that's when you find out, like in the X-Men, when the X-Men are become circus performers, and you're like, wow, look, the X-Men are circus performers,
Oh,
right? And then next thing you know, you're like, oh, this was Mesmero. I said, oh yeah, Mesmero's cool. Mesmero controls minds. Wow, he did something really, really amazing, right? That's the basic premise of WandaVision. They're like, nope, we gotta have. It's not cool to have a villain make the heroes do stupid stuff. We have to have the heroes do stupid stuff. So we're gonna set all this stuff up so there's no way, and then it's like we're not gonna give you any twists. The big twist is a phony twist because it turned into Agatha. Agatha did it.
well, Agatha was there. She somehow connected it with them and was able to influence certain things. But the whole reason behind this was, and I think it could have helped if they showed that Agatha helped to magnify her power. But then again, the whole point of Agatha is that her power was so much, and without training, she had all this power, and she just constructed. What did she say? This whole thing to make breakfast, to play breakfast or whatever. And so we see what Agatha was there. She just is an interloper. We see her thing, and she's just trying to get. Hey, if I can get control of this chick's power, I could be the ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's not forget the Darkhold book that she had. Whose power is emanating from that? What demon, what evil realm is it from?
We don't know because they didn't say it. We gotta wait till the freaking Doctor Strange movie now.
Well, that comes out next year, right?
You saying that comes out next year? Then what's next?
Next is they're doing Winter Soldier and Falcon. They're doing
I thought a movie is at least what's the name coming out? Is at
yeah,
least
and
the
Black Widow. I'm there, baby.
coming out. Oh, the whole schedule is off.
They redid it. They're gonna do it again.
So WandaVision was supposed to be way later. It's supposed to be spring. I guess it was spring. We didn't get Shang-Chi.
Isn't that supposed to be coming in the summer?
Oh, everything is screwed up, isn't it?
Yeah,
We're supposed to get the Eternals.
it's supposed to be in November, I think.
Man, this is. But see, doesn't it? Doctor Strange come afterwards, right?
Mhm.
So where is? Oh, then they changed instead of Spider-Man. It was supposed to be the Spectacular Spider-Man. That's a way better title. Is Captain Marvel and the Valkyries a real name?
Yeah. So WandaVision, January 15th. Falcon and Winter Soldier, March 19th. Black Widow, May 7th. Loki TV show, May 2021. They haven't given a specific date. Shang-Chi is supposed to be July 9th. It's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So don't start with the Mandarin crap again. What if summer of 2021? Hawkeye,
Trash.
2021. And Ms. Marvel. So that's what it's looking like.
So say that to me again.
Well, actually, I don't want to say it to you. I will show it to you, my friend. Because that's what we do. We show things to people.
Show instead of tell.
Show instead of tell. What do you mean by that?
They say like in the script, you're supposed to show someone doing something instead of just telling them so you can believe it because you see them doing that.
All right, so here it is. Marvel Phase 4 new MCU release. Do you see this?
Yes.
Should I make it bigger?
No.
So we know you're half blind.
Look who has glasses and look who doesn't.
I'm sorry for saying that. I was out of pocket. My apologies once again.
Too late. You went
I'm
against your own rules.
I'm still good. I'm still good. I'm still good. I
You're
apologize.
not. No, you're not.
But here's the schedule: WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Black Widow. And it kind of makes sense that Black Widow falls right in this period with Falcon and Winter Soldier, so those characters definitely deal with one another.
How are we going to see that? Is that coming out this week?
It's coming out. No, it's coming out May 7th in the movie theaters.
Oh, May. All right.
The Loki TV show comes right after in May 2021. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I hope it comes out this summer because they may push everything back they may push it back again because they want to have a big impact with Black Widow. What If, Hawkeye, and the Eternals. Here it is. The Eternals are coming out November 5th. So if they push the Eternals back again, then you have Spider-Man December 17th. Doctor Strange is supposed to come out March 25th, 2022.
So when do we see? We don't see Wanda again until 2022.
She's not scheduled to come back. That's what I was saying before.
I mean, we'll see her as a character in Doctor Strange.
We'll see her, yeah.
We'll see her until then. And somehow Spider-Man is before.
Yeah, Sony got to get their loot too, bro. Okay? Because the Sony Marvel thing is a little different. Because I think after this, that Sony's supposed to be having 2022. Let me see if we could do Sony timeline. Sony Spider-Man timeline. I should put Spider-Verse. Nah, let's see it here.
No way home.
Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't know what they go. Look, Sony Spider. It's a waste of time. Let's finish this show here. We can leave that alone and cut that out, okay?
We can leave it in. All right, so we did it. We pointed out all of the flaws in WandaVision. Ultimately, let's see what happens years from now. Will there be buyer's remorse? Will people go back to it and say, you know what, this is like Small Wonder. This isn't classic television, you know. But ultimately, I think most of the TV watchers, they haven't watched enough television to understand when the joke doesn't land. You don't just look for the, what's that thing? With the Easter eggs. You don't just look around for the Easter eggs when jokes are not landing.
I don't know what to say about that. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think the whole thing is that the show is enjoyable. That's what we've agreed to. We agreed that the show it hit its mark. We agreed
that the girl is somehow, they can't come up with a story for the girl. So what do? They give her a family, right? They did the same thing when Superman, like you said, behind the scenes is like, all right, Superman's going to die, Batman's going to get his back broken. They said, what's one to do for Wonder Woman? She's going to get married. She's going to have a kid. And it's like, that's what they do for the women. It's like, come up with something compelling and this, that, and the other. But, you know, at the same time, it's been cool to see Master Pandemonium come out, or Mephisto, or even what I was thinking, to connect to Annihilus and saying that she's some sort of conduit. They're using her probability powers for all this other stuff. But ultimately, Wanda did it, and that's the story they wanted to tell. So I just asked,
a good story, a fine story.
I'm saying I just feel the joke should land, and at the same time, when you watch Dick Van Dyke and you're saying, oh, look, there's some of the cheese. Like, no, if you watch enough of those, you start to see, you start getting into the rhythm, you get into the humor and the heart and see why these people became the talents that they are. They weren't just like saying, oh, these guys, you could just do anything on television and people would laugh.
So
No,
wait,
go back.
you didn't
Huh?
you didn't like Elizabeth Olsen? You didn't think she pulled off a great acting throughout the?
No, I didn't say I don't have a problem with the acting. I told you I enjoyed their performances. I'm just saying I want jokes to land. When you watch a show that you like, when Married with Children's on, you liking the show and you like the Cosby Show and you like all these things. When the jokes stop landing, it takes you like, at some point you're gonna run out of steam on the show. And that's what I'm trying to alleviate. Write the show, have the jokes land, and you have these guys killing the performances, having fun, right? That's all I had to say. Those first episodes, make sure the jokes land, or else you'll have stuff when the people go back to, it'll start to be cringeworthy. That's it.
Hey, so I just want to give the showrunner, the writers, and all those big thumbs up. Did a great job. Jack Schaefer, keep doing what you're doing. Blow it up. Hopefully, we can get another WandaVision out of this. So once again, the team agrees. I'm speaking here with
The team, there's only two of us.
yeah, but Cal gave me his proxy vote, so
He gave you a proxy vote. Since he's not here, I can't say anything about it. But at the same time, we're not rolling like the Fat Boys, where it's like 2 to 3. We always out. Someone always has to lose. Someone always has to lose 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 wins.
Spinnerrack
Out. It's on you.